What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the All Around. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Anthony. Please tune in on Mondays at 6 p.m. for your entertainment purposes. We will hit current topics, old topics, and everything else in between. Be there or be square. Deuces, my loves. Hi, welcome to another great episode of the All Around. I'm your host, your gracious host, Dr. Anthony, and we have an amazing show in store for. And I have been getting some inboxes and things like that regarding Ida. Ida is off doing her own thing. Hopefully, we can get her back on the show as a guest. Make sure you check her YouTube out at IdaLBullock.com. She has her own channel, so make sure you guys go over and support. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring out Mark.
I'm here. How are you doing?
Hi.
How's life treating you? Life treating you well? We got all kinds of crazy things.
Forward. I mean, I think somebody reported my Facebook page, got my Facebook page taken down, but it's all good because what's meant for you is gonna be meant for you. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna push the other platforms and we gonna move forward. I'm still in the top 5. I'm still shooting for number 1. I still have my followers across the world, so I'm not gonna let Facebook discourage me and things like that. But I'm gonna come back strong. I'm gonna create another Facebook page, but it'll probably be somewhere around June, July.
That makes a lot of sense. We can wait till June or July when you create the other page. As I said before, a lot of social media, including social media that I like, is not doing all that great because I know that even Instagram and definitely particularly LinkedIn and others have been definitely terrorizing a lot of folks as well. So it does seem like there are some folks out there that don't like some of the conversations we're having and they want to try to find ways to dismantle it. But like you said, nothing good will come of that, and we can always find ways to bounce back as well. But we do know that there are some people out there that are loving to do hack jobs, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on LinkedIn, or a number of other sources as well. But hey, sometimes you gotta.
Right. I mean, my thing is. Right, because the thing is, you're trying to silence me, and I didn't say anything that nobody else is not saying. So my thing is, if you don't like what I'm saying, don't watch my content. Don't engage on my page. If you don't like what I'm putting out there and what I'm bringing to the table, it's just simple as that. It's just people just they disagree with you, and then they want to feel like. And do things so that your voice is not heard. My voice is always going to be heard. I have people that look for me. I have people that want to hear me. They want to hear my insight. They want to hear what I bring to the table. They know that I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. They know that I'm going to keep it real. They know that I'm going to give my honest to God's opinion about whatever. And I'm going to stand on my business. I'm going to stand on my word. But, when you have haters and, you have a lot of haters, not just Black, but you have a lot of haters in other races to be heard and don't want you to be out there. But it's okay though, because you can continue to hate because I am the blueprint. I am the one, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to let you discourage me, and I'm not going to let you, hate on my show, because my show is not just on the online platform of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and things like that. We are a digital TV show. I am worldwide. I am broadcasted in over 20 plus countries in their native language. So you're not on Facebook for me at the moment.
I agree. And definitely they don't need to be playing those games, no matter what the source is, and all along those lines. But you got a number of people that are playing games, and you brought something to my attention and everything, and we got a couple of these folks. But as I mentioned to you earlier, we got this crazy stepping fetching guy that is saying all kinds of crazy things here in North Carolina. And there was another one down in South Carolina that was saying a bunch of crazy stuff and all along those lines. So, he just recently dropped out of the race and said that he was going to give his endorsement to the front runner, even though there are some people that are thinking that Nikki Haley could give him a challenge and everything. But Tim Scott dropped out of the race, as did Ron DeSantis. I think Ron DeSantis dropped out yesterday and everything. So I haven't heard whether I think he threw his support as well to Trump also. But definitely we got this guy that is a epitome of the step and fetch it routine and all along those lines. So I don't know, it might make a lot of people sick and all in that space. But do you want to check out? We want to hear the love story, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that, and hear about his recent engagement.
Before we dive into the actual video. So for the people that's out there in digital world, digital TV, and digital land, Tim Scott is an American senator for the state of South Carolina. And for all of you guys that don't know, Tim Scott was recommended to be a senator by Nikki Haley. So what Tim Scott did was he thought that he was going to garner the support to run for the Republican Party caucus and earn that nomination. He got shut down early. He and the other ones that didn't make the cut. And so when he went to Iowa, instead of him endorsing Nikki Haley, he endorsed Trump. And so the thing about that is Tim Scott has always been a step and fetch. And if y'all don't know what a step and fetch is, that's a yassa massa. You know what I'm saying? That's a black person that, basically is kissing white folks' ass to be accepted and to be tolerated. That's a prime example of that, what that is. And that's Tim Scott. In the video that you guys are about to see is him being a step and fetch, trying to garner support from Trump. Trump has already showed you that he doesn't even care about you. And at some point, Mark, I want you to pull that video where he tries to shake Trump's hand and Trump disses him and does not shake his hand. And this is when Trump was president. So my thing is, you're running around the country saying that racism doesn't exist. We're not a racist country. Sweetheart, the country was built on the backs of slaves. Ron DeSantis is another one that black people should be happy that slavery happened. How the hell we should be happy that slavery happened? We were enslaved. You did things to us that you don't want us to do to you. And the problem with that is they think that we're going to retaliate against them if we garner some type of power or we get some type of monetary whatever, because they have given, if you look at it historically, they have given every other race of people who have received some type of, they have provided them reparations except for black people. They don't want to give black people anything. We wasn't even a part of what happened in the Holocaust with the Jews, but we paid them billions and billions of dollars. But, when it comes down to it, nobody wants to support blacks receiving it. Oh, we don't deserve this. We don't deserve that. Then have the audacity to say, that we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and we need to, work and, earn the American dream. How can we earn the American dream when we're still first at doing a whole lot of at becoming valedictorians at certain high schools? We're still first at becoming presidents of the Ivy League university. We're still first at receiving PhDs. We're still first at receiving, different types of degrees. But you always want to say that we have to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap. How can we pull ourselves up by the bootstrap when you have already stagnated us for 400 plus years? You didn't want us to learn how to read. You didn't want to educate us. You didn't want us to do anything. And then when we get these schools, you do things to try to stagnate our growth, to try to get us kicked out, to try to do all these things to not allow us to succeed. But guess what? We succeed anyway. So with that being said, without further ado, go ahead and roll that tape because I got more.
All right, and this is Donald Trump introducing Tim Scott, and then Tim Scott doing that step and fetch routine. So let's check this out.
He's a highly respected gentleman, and he's a wonderful friend. And remember, he's, I'm running against somebody from his state, so it's not that easy to do. I mean, she is running from the state of South Carolina, which, by the way, where I'm leading her by over 50 points, so I don't know what the hell kind of a job she did, but in South Carolina. But he's a senator from South Carolina. He's a fantastic man, Tim Scott.
Hello, New Hampshire! Oh, yeah. Let me see. Is this Donald Trump country? Oh, yeah. We need a president who will close our southern border today. We need Donald Trump. We need a president. We need a president who will unite our country. We need Donald Trump. You see, we need a president who doesn't see black or white. We see a president who sees Americans as one American family. We need. And that's why I came to the very warm state of New Hampshire to endorse the next president of these United States, President Donald Trump.
Thank you, Tim. That's great.
So the part of the video that I wanted you to show that didn't come up in this particular segment was the part where he was said, "We're sick and tired of being sick and tired." How in the hell you gonna quote a dang on civil rights leader talking about we're sick and tired of being sick and tired with a known racist Donald Trump? You know, Joy, what's her name? Joy, the one that has the show, Joy. I can't recall her last name, but she
Joy
talked
Behar?
about this. Huh?
I think it's Joy Behar.
Yeah, she talked about it on her show, and she also mentioned the fact that he quoted Fannie Lou Hamer. And you know, how are you going to mix the two? How are you going to? This is a known racist. This man. Let me just break it down to you.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Anthony freeze? It looks like she froze. So we'll continue the conversation, but definitely that is
without even, you know, thinking about the democracy. And you know, he joked about, you know, getting Roe versus Wade overturned. He did that. He said that he's going to do a lot of more stuff. And you think that he's playing? He's going to do that. So, you know, from out there talking about Joe Biden didn't do this, Joe Biden didn't do that. Oh no, Joe Biden did a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get off your black asses and go vote Democrat all the way down. Because like I said, I don't understand how these people have the audacity to say that the Democrats are not doing what, and that's insane to me. You know what I'm saying? Because let's for example, let's take the known student loan forgiveness program. They don't know that the Republicans got with the justices, the Republican justices, and shot it down when it went to the Supreme Court. That's why a lot of your student loans did not get forgiven in the initial time when President Biden sent it to, you know, and when it was put up to the Supreme Court. They went behind everybody's back and told them that they did not want the American people, to receive that reprieve from the student loans. So you know what President Biden did? He had to circumvent and he had to come up with other ways for the American people to receive that reprieve from the student loans. So people are still receiving reprieve from the student loans, and they're still getting their student loans suspended and canceled. But the thing about it is, these same Republicans that you think has your back are the same Republicans that want. They said corporations are people. Now, when did a building become a person? When did a corporation become a person? So they would take your money, your hard-earned tax money, and they will allow these businesses to go bankrupt and do whatever, and we have to bail them out every time. Where do you think the money come from? It comes from your tax dollars. So while y'all sitting there talking about the Democrats not doing this and the Democrats not doing that, and you allowing those Republicans to come in and take over and do what the hell that they want to do, You think it's just about the president. It's not just about the president. It's about those local elections. Those local elections where they're redlining and they're gerrymandering. And y'all need to go look it up if you don't know what it means. They're changing the voting districts where Republicans will always rule. So they're always doing things to hold you back. They're always doing things to handicap you. And you want to vote Republican and you want to be Republican. But to be honest with you, Mark, the people that are Republican are the poor white trailer park trash. Those are the ones that are voting Republican when they vote against their own best interest.
Yeah.
Hurting the most, but they want to vote Republican because guess what? They think it hurts black people. That's what they think. All right, so go ahead and roll the clip. You got to pull it.
Yeah, I got the right clip. I was going to roll this one, so let's check this out. This is him actually using that
I want to show him stepping fetching. We got to show him stepping fetching.
President who understands the American people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We need.
So, like you said, he definitely quoted Fannie Lou Hamer in that particular rally and all along those lines. So definitely that with what was going on there, and definitely I can even bring in Fannie Lou Hamer's original quote, and she was definitely not going there in the direction that he was going in, and all along those lines. So just to put it in some.
But not only that, Mark, Fannie Lou Hamer was beat. She was beat so severe that she endured the injuries and the bruises for years and years to come.
Yeah, I agree. But just really quickly, so people
can. She was a sharecropper.
Yeah, and just so people can get some context.
She told the sharecropper that she wanted to go register to vote, right. And she was beat for that.
Yeah, and to give us some context, like I was saying, and everything along those lines, I just want to play this from the original quote. It's not that long either, but this is what
Mississippi is still a very rough place. You know, people is not just walking up like they used to do in the past, walking out, shooting a man down or getting maybe 200 or 300 people carrying you out and lynching you, but it's in a more settled way. They can let you starve to death, not give you jobs. These are some of the things that's happening right now in Mississippi. See, Mississippi is not actually Mississippi's problem. Mississippi is America's problem. Because if America wanted to do something about what has been going on in Mississippi, it could have stopped by now. It wouldn't have been in the past few years, between 40 and 50 churches bombed and burned. You see, and this lead me to say, all of the burning and bombing that was done to us and the houses, nobody never said too much about that, and nothing was done. But let something be burned, by a black man, and then, my God, you see, the flag is drenched with our blood. Because, you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man. As we know, this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand it. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us. This country is desperately sick, and man is on the critical list. I really don't know where we go from here.
So that was a little bit from Fannie Lou herself and everything in that space. And I would say that some of what he said is still relevant to today as well. Even though she was speaking in 1969, it's still relevant in 2024.
It's always going to be relevant. But the thing about it is they always tell us that we need to put, like I said, they tell us that we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstrap and things like that. And we need to do X, Y, and Z. For example, when Black Lives Matter came out, what did they say? Oh, y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do that. Y'all need to stop resisting arrest. How the hell we resisting arrest when we're walking, when you have up and you're shooting us in cold blood. You know what I'm saying? But how are we resisting arrest? Oh, you need to do what the officer say, but we're still getting shut down in cold blood. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not, you know, just a thing that happened in 1969, 1979, 1989, 1999, 2009. It is still happening to Black Americans today. We are the only race of people that are not allowed to basically come together as one. When we come together as one, you know what they termed us? They said that we're extremists. We're gang members and things like that. The American people, the Black America does not realize that, you know, that we have certain things that goes on in the government where they're tagging us and they're flagging us as extremists. When we speak out about white supremacy, when we speak out about the KKK, they tag us, they flag us. It just happened in DC not long ago with gang members. They're flagging people from gang members. Not saying that you somebody that's a gang member and you talk to that person, you have automatically been flagged. So they're still doing this. J. Edgar Hoover did this. Reaganomics did this. And these white folks told these people about, you know, oh, these were good presidents and these people were good leaders. How were they good leaders? Good leaders for who? They were never good leaders for nobody. You know, they bombed American citizens. They bombed Black people. They blew up, you know, Philadelphia, the Watts riots. They came back and this was the American government doing this to Black citizens. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we say that you need to understand your history, you need to understand your history. When we say that you need to get out and vote, you need to get out and vote because people lost their lives. People were beaten because they wanted the right to vote. The right to vote secure your position in society as a man, as a woman, but they wanted to keep you down and they didn't want. And nowadays, what pisses me off is, you know, you have people like Nick Cannon and Colin Kaepernick telling people, oh, I don't vote. Why are you telling people that you don't vote? This is your most precious commodity. The most precious thing that you can have is your right to vote. And you're telling people that you don't want to vote or they should not vote. And you have other people who are running around all saying, you know, your vote don't count. You need to understand civics and government 101. You need to understand how this stuff. So it was taught, but a lot of y'all say it wasn't taught. No, just say you didn't learn it because you was talking and you wasn't paying attention. But it was taught. You caught it when you first went to high school in 9th grade. But a lot of people don't understand how the government works. A lot of people don't understand how the voting system works. A lot of people don't understand a lot of things. And so therefore they're saying that, you know, oh, I'm not going to go vote. But, you know, a lot of things that I know, Mark, is Black people are reactive.
Oh, yeah,
they're reactive. They wait until something happens until they their ass, and then it's too late. When you know, turning all these things against you, when they're you know, closing your schools and you don't go and you don't fight for your child, you're reactive. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to stop with the foolishness about the Democrats not doing nothing for y'all, and y'all need to not support the Democrats, but y'all want to run over there and support the Republicans. They don't like you. They don't want you in the party of the Republicans. They tolerate you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to lie to your ass, lie to your face, and tell you what that they can get your vote, and then they're going to leave you in the dust, just like he did the last time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to spend the whole time on this.
No, but we'll get to some other conversations as well. But speaking of folks lying in the dust and all along those lines, I do have to tease, and maybe I know that not everybody is glad of this, and I'm not sure that I'm glad of it, but not only did Tim Scott get in the news recently for that, but he also got recently in the news because he decided to do something that I know that Dr. Anthony is not a big fan of, is all along those lines, but definitely Marjorie Taylor Greene endorsed his recent engagement because it came, I think, earlier today.
Senator Tim Scott announced on Facebook that he is engaged. Scott shared pictures of him getting down on one knee on the beach, and the post read, "She said yes." It went on to say, quote, "Mindy, thank you for making me the luckiest man in the world." Scott also shared a Bible verse. The engagement announcement comes days after Senator Scott endorsed Donald Trump as the GOP presidential candidate at a rally in New Hampshire.
go get him one of those as well, meaning he decided to go engage with
because
this,
he already know a sister's not going to tolerate that foolishness that he got going on. He already know a sister's not going to allow him to step and fetch. You know what I'm saying? But they think that's the norm. They think that's what Black people are supposed to do because, we're a caricature to them and things like that. We're supposed to please them or whatever. So he already know he could never be with a sister because, we don't tolerate the foolishness and we going to hold his ass accountable. But he has to go where he's accepted because he would never be accepted.
Yep. And along those lines of people being accepted, I know there was another issue. I know we're going to get to Shannon Sharpe, but before we get to Shannon Sharpe, I know that you mentioned that some people have told me, even on this network, that structural racism did not exist. And you've got an incident of a bank that is actually not given a lot of loans and all along those lines. And it is a bank connected to our military. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to play this particular video because I've had people even on this network tell me that they don't think
so. It says the largest credit union in the U.S. is facing new scrutiny over racial disparities in its mortgage lending following a CNN investigative report. With class action lawsuit filed Monday alleging the lender discriminated against Black and Latino applicants, and a senior congressional Democrat demanded answers about its practices. The complaint against Navy Federal Credit Union filed in federal court in Virginia on Sunday comes on the heels of CNN's story, which found the credit union had the widest disparity in conventional mortgage approval rates between white and Black major lender last year. When describing its corporate values, Navy Federal claims that it champions community and that it is dedicated to embracing and celebrating diversity and inclusion in all communities. It serves the complaint, which cites CNN's reporting states. But Navy Federal's claims of community support are meaningless in the face of its actions, systemic discrimination in housing in violation of the federal law. So you can go ahead and roll that clip, and then we'll get back to what I need to say on this right here.
No problem.
It's one of our most read stories on News4Jax.com. A recent analysis found Navy Federal Credit Union had major discrepancies between the approval rates of loans to white or Black applicants. The investigation found America's largest credit union rejected more than half the applications filed by Black members looking for a conventional mortgage. White applicants were approved more than 75% of the time. According to analysis by CNN, Navy Federal Credit Union only approved 48% of Black mortgage applicants last year. White borrowers were approved 77% of the time. That gap is the highest among the top 50 mortgage lenders. Data also shows Navy Federal was more than twice as likely to deny Black mortgage applicants than white ones, even when different variables were the same. For instance, the same income, debt, property value, or down payment percentage.
I feel validated at one point, but also I feel a bit of anger because it shouldn't be happening.
Bob Otandi is one of the report's examples. He's a Texas entrepreneur who immigrated from Kenya. Otandi told reporter Renee Marsh Navy Federal was his first choice for a mortgage. The credit union is the largest in the nation, serving military members, veterans and their families, and defense personnel.
I was the CEO of my company, so I had a pretty good income.
Your credit was in the 700s. Mm-hmm. You'd recently sold your house. Mm-hmm. You had $100,000 for the down payment, which was more than 20%.
Correct. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Otandi had a pre-approval from Navy Fed, then was rejected in a letter that listed excessive obligations in relation to income as the reason.
When they denied is when we came back and said, oh man, there's something else going on.
And what did you think that something else was?
Discrimination.
Lisa Rice is a fair housing advocate who says the analysis may not prove discrimination, but the dramatic racial disparities are stunning and disappointing.
The Black-white homeownership gap and the Latino-white homeownership gap today are both wider than they were in 1968 when we passed the Federal Fair Housing Act.
We got the house, thank God, and we moved on. But what about the ones who are denied? What about the ones who now can't get their own dream house? It's something that's going to affect the generation all the way down to their kids.
After Otandi's application was rejected by Navy Federal, another bank approved him within 2 weeks. Navy Federal has faced legal action in the past concerning lending practices. The credit union paid more than $28 million in fines. And we reached out to Navy Federal for comment, and they sent us a statement tonight that reads in part, Navy Federal Credit Union is committed to equal and equitable lending practices and strict adherence to all fair lending laws. CNN's recent analysis of mortgage lending data does not accurately reflect our practices. And furthermore, their mortgage data model does not account for major criteria required by any financial institution to approve a mortgage loan. As a not-for-profit, member-centric membership organization, we are focused on expanding awareness and access to home ownership across the country. We are proud of the fact that we provide a higher percentage of mortgage loans to Black applicants than the vast majority of the top 50 mortgage originators nationwide. We posted the complete statement from Navy Federal Credit Union on news4jax.com.
Well, that's what they had to say in defense. I don't know that that was a good defense and all along those lines, because they definitely didn't address the fact that they've got this bias going on and all along those lines. And like I said, I've literally seen where people have gone in and been turned down, and then a associated of theirs that was of the European race would go in and go for a similar kind of situations and get approved. So that's not just at Navy Federal, but in other banks as well. And I've actually seen
No, of
folks
course.
that,
I mean,
that have done this on a regular basis.
No, of course. I mean, but this is nothing new. But these are things. This is systemic racism that they say that does not exist. You know, these are the things that, you know, the Republicans are saying that does not exist. But we show them every day that it's live and well, and it does exist. And you know, they always want to say, "Oh, Black people need to do this. Black people need to do that." How can we succeed and advance when we have to fight the system and we have to fight them? We can. When we are fighting everybody worldwide is against Black people, and it doesn't matter where you go or what you do. Somebody has a story somewhere where they have been treated wrongly because of the color of their skin. They have been treated wrongly because they are African American. They have been treated wrongly because they are Black. They have been treated wrongly because, you know, of other things that, you know, relate to Black people. So, you know, it's just really funny, and it baffles the hell out of me how, you know, these people. Racism does not exist when this whole country was built on systemic racism, and the white people who are with in addition years of, you know, Black people trying to make progression, but y'all came and y'all stopped it. Y'all burned down Black communities. Y'all burned down Black churches. You kill people trying to go vote. You kill people trying to register for school. We couldn't even sit with you in the school system, in the school buildings. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, because they have this big thing with, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King saying that, you know, oh, he wanted integration. No, we never wanted integration. We wanted the same stuff that y'all were giving to the white families and the white children. That's what. But y'all said that separate but equal was unconstitutional, and y'all said that y'all were doing away with integration because when the Black community was separated, we owned our own banks, we owned our own restaurants, we owned everything. We owned our own transportation system, we owned everything. But guess what they did? The hating white folks went in there to you know, burn down black banks, burn down Black homes, burn down Black communities, and what was done? Nothing. The land stolen. You know, they just gave California. They just gave the family that owned the Black beach in California their land back after they were ran off by a white mob. And just think about all of this throughout, you know, throughout the South and throughout, you know, wherever we are, where people have lost their lands because white people took over their lands and stole their land, stole their homes, burned down their houses, and did all this stuff. But you want to say that we have an equal footing? Get the fuck out of here.
No equal footing here and all along those lines. So I hear what you're saying in that regard. But even with that, it wasn't just the destructive acts, and the destructive acts were definitely part of what was going on. But as I was doing a presentation to a group of high school kids here that are with our School of Science and Math, and I did that yesterday at Haytime, we were talking about the Black Wall Street that existed here and how the highway was actually intentionally run through the neighborhoods as well. So sometimes the neighborhood destruction was done with the cooperation of government entities as well, because it wasn't just here in Durham, North Carolina, but it was a number of communities around the nation that they intentionally placed highways through some neighborhoods that were either African American or Latin or other communities, even including some of the poor white communities. But they definitely deliberately chose where they placed those highways, and a lot of times it was to destroy our buildings and our structures that we had spent years and decades to create, and all along those lines. So that is something that was going on. So sometimes it was a forceful act, like a bombing or a fire there in Wilmington, but sometimes it was something that some people may see as more subtle, like having a highway go through your neighborhood. And we just actually recently had that fight with a neighborhood not that far from Duke University in the last few years. So even that highway battle into certain neighborhoods can still be going on in the 21st century as well.
You're right, because it's called eminent domain, and a lot of people don't understand that when the government wants your property, they just say eminent domain, and they can take your property regardless of you sell it or not. And that was happening to the lady in South Carolina in one of those communities where the white people wanted her property and she wouldn't sell. And Tyler Perry stepped up. He stepped up and he said the house for her so her family can utilize the space and things like that or whatever. But these white folks, they play all types of dirty little games and things like that, and then they want to sit back and say oh, we're not racist, we're not prejudiced, we're not this, we're not that. Oh no, you're all of that. You're all of the above. Everything that Jane Elliott has said about you, you're all of those things. But you want to sell us wolf cookies like you're on the side of us, and you have our best interests at heart. You have never had our best interests at heart, and it's no way to no other way to say it. It's just we as a Black community and a Black race, we need to start supporting our own. And this goes for the African Americans who are migrating here from Africa. Y'all, a lot of y'all come over here and y'all like that's not my struggle, that's not my thing, that's not my I'm not with that or whatever. But you're here because of of the civil rights movement. You're enjoying freedoms and things because we went through those struggles. And now you're seeing that you're being discriminated against because your Black skin is saying that you're Black. They're not listening to your voice because you came from Africa. They're seeing your Black skin that says you're just as Black as you and I, Mark.
Yep, no, definitely. We come in all shades and all along those lines. So that's all they're seeing. But one of the other things that I know that you had mentioned is that some people see folks that are getting certain money and getting certain things, and they're really having those kind of perks to go with their job and all in that face. And apparently one of those is a former football player, and there was some flack that he was getting because apparently he was letting his animal eat with him and all along those lines. So I don't know if you want to explain that before we play this video and maybe get into some of the conversations around what was going on here. This was from Thanksgiving, where apparently the dog was getting to enjoy the meal with him and all along those lines. But did you want to talk any more about that? Or did you just want me to play?
Mark. So to the viewers out there, we've been discussing Shannon Sharpe for the past couple of shows about, his interview with Cat Williams and then the aftermath after the interview with Cat Williams. And so he's been posting, different videos. So we have both of those videos that we're going to show you tonight. So he was at the dinner table praying, and he had a dog sitting at the dinner table, licking on the bowls and all that stuff. And anybody that deal with any type of Black person other than Shannon Sharpe knows that dogs are not allowed at the table. But, it also goes back to Mark, when you're dating outside your race partner. So he dates white women, so that's what they do. So he's doing white woman. So go ahead and roll that clip. Let's go ahead and see it.
We'll roll this clip and see what he was doing with his dog and all along those lines. I think this was from Thanksgiving, but let's check it out.
ISO Shannon Sharpe was out here trying to give the people a glimpse of what he had for Thanksgiving, but his little dog stole the show. A lot of people were concerned that Shannon had the dog so close to the food, and they decided to let him know in the comments that that wasn't cool. Let's check it out.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to see another special occasion amongst family, friends, and loved ones. Father, we realize that it's only through your goodness, kindness, and mercy that we've allowed to see another day with the blood was running warm in our veins. We had use of our limbs and we was in our right mind. Father, help us to receive this food for the nourishment of my body and the uplifting of you in your spirit. Thank you for all the many days and nights that you watched over us while we slumbered and slept, arose the next morning, and we were still here. Thank you for all that you've done and all that you'll ever do. Continue to lead us and guide us in the path you have us to go. Ask all these blessings in your name. Amen and amen. Okay, we got mashed potatoes and gravy, mac and cheese, dressing, not stuffing. I guess y'all call them yams. We call them mashed sweet potatoes. And rolls and turkey. Hey, how y'all doing out there? You know, it's Sunday, time-honored tradition. Some people like to go work out on a Sunday morning. Some people will get up early, go to church. Some go to sporting events. NFL football game is a staple on Sundays. Tailgate. Some people watch football at home, invite family and friends over, have a good old time. But me, my Sunday tradition is jumping on this Shea by LaPortier after Cowboy lost.
So the thing too is you touched your food after you had that dog in your hand. And then you're going to eat your food after you had that dog in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're not down with the culture, you just do stuff. And that just shows right there that he's not down with the culture and he just does stuff. You know what I'm saying? I could never eat at his house ever because I'm not eating with no pets. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
Speaking of not eating with your pets, speaking of not eating with your pets, and definitely you don't need to be eating with your dog right there, that nearby, and all along those lines. But he did try to respond, and this is only a short clip to all of the things with Cat Williams and all in that space. So I don't know if you wanted to let me hear this one, because this is his 43-second response to some of the criticism that he was getting in all along those lines. So let's hear what Shannon Sharpe had to say about this.
Hold tight before you play it. So the whole thing why I asked Mark to cue this video is because he came back when he interviewed Cat Williams. He was getting so much pushback saying that he should have controlled Cat Williams. He should have set him down. He should have, curtailed the conversation. And, like I said, oh man, you ain't controlling Cat Williams. Cat Williams control his own narrative and things like that. And I just feel like Shannon Sharpe acted like a straight bitch. He put the whole move with this one. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Go ahead and roll the clip.
All right, we'll roll the clip.
I have Said's number. When they came on, I didn't cut anybody off. Mm-hmm. When was the time that I've cut somebody off? Now you want me to cut him off. Man, but he going in. Okay.
I mean, that's the point of having that space where you can tell your truth. That's the whole point.
And I know a guy that he got so much, he always has something to say.
Right.
Now, this is the same guy. You know what? I ain't gonna even, no. Look here.
You gonna let it go? You ain't gonna
I'm
say
gonna
nothing?
let it go. Because this is what I told you. And I get on Stephen A. of this all the time.
Yeah.
I say, stop giving people your audience's ear. Stop giving it. Your platform bigger than theirs.
That's kind of.
So anyway, in another video, he was trying to justify, why he Williams. That wasn't the video that I wanted you to play. The video that I wanted you to play had him going on there. I didn't know what he was gonna say. I didn't know he was gonna do this. I didn't know he was gonna do that. But then when he started trying to address the haters, then he tried to start to man up. No, you pulled the bitch move because you should have left well enough alone. Cat Williams is a grown man. Just like with anything, you cannot control a grown person. You may try to sidetrack them from what they're saying, but if they want to get their message out and let their message be known, it is going to get out.
Yep. I was still trying to find that one.
And everything. I tell them all the time, before you invite me on your show, know what type of person that I am before you invite me on your show. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. And I'm going to give it to you from my truth and my perspective. If you don't want to hear my truth and my perspective, don't invite me on your show and don't ask me no questions. Bottom line, period. Same thing with Cat Williams. If y'all didn't want him to say his piece, but y'all didn't have a problem when everybody else was calling him a crackhead, when criminal. Y'all did not back him, and y'all did not say y'all have a problem with the people coming for him. So my thing is, how are you going to have a problem when this man is addressing all the stuff that was said about him previously, and he's telling his narrative and he's telling his truth? That's what I have an issue with. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I'm saying I was still trying to find that particular video, and all along those lines, I did find another video of one of the rappers that had a response to him, and all along those lines, I believe it was definitely one of the ones that is known. It might have even been Dave Chappelle, and all in that space. So maybe we'll hear a little bit of this, and then I've got another video that I want to play that maybe has a thoughts around you and something that a lady said in one of her Instagrams. But let's check this video out and see what is going on in this whole Cat and some of the comedian fight.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Alba. For the entire month of January, Cat Williams has been at the pulse of the culture due to his viral interview with Shannon Sharpe on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Now, Cat's controversial words had everyone talking and sharing their thoughts, further extending the dialogue. We thought the conversation was done, but the one person we haven't heard from has now spoken up after being secretly recorded during a comedy set last week, Dave Chappelle. On Monday night, while sharing the stage with DeRay Davis, Deon Cole at the Hollywood Improv, Chappelle would give his opinion on Cat Williams. Now, typically Chappelle doesn't allow phones during his own comedy shows, but this seemed to be a special appearance at DeRay Davis's weekly comedy show, which is why the material may have leaked. In the captured video that would leak Friday night, Chappelle would express his disappointment in Cat, going after mostly black comedians in his interview that included the kings of comedies, Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer, and not any white ones.
He only eats the niggas. He didn't say anything about any of these white boys. And none of these white boys function like that. And hurt people, but I'm a hurt person. They never hurt people. Cat was talking about shit that niggas did to other niggas, but not about anything that niggas did to him.
In addition to that, Chappelle would disagree with DeRay's opinion on Cat's interview being good for comedy. DeRay's defense was that Cat was able to call out a lot of people and he made the genre competitive again. Chappelle disagreed because he dropped a stand-up special around the same time, and according to him, it performed fine. Now, in a separate video uploaded, Chappelle is also heard acknowledging that Cat is a hurt person, saying that hurt people hurt people.
Listen, I f***ing Cat hard. Wait, DeRay, just tell me what part of the game fucks up another nigga's paper. Tiffany Haddish is lifting something heavy, and as clumsy as she is, why would you say that? Because all of us are trying to be in a better situation. And hurt people, but I'm a hurt person. They never hurt people.
Chappelle would also criticize Cat for always calling out other comedians and entertainers, but acting like he's never done anything wrong.
And what part of the game is this? He does it all the time. This one and that one and this one. But nigga, I didn't hear anything that you did wrong. Cat was talking about shit that niggas did to other niggas, but not about anything that niggas did to him.
In response of Chappelle's leaked comments, fans online would begin to bring up instances in which Dave himself would call out shows like Key and Peele for stealing his show and making it their own, comparing it to Cat calling out Cedric the Entertainer for stealing his joke. A clip from one of Chappelle's speeches, Unforgiven, would also make its rounds on the internet. The clip shows Chappelle telling a story of an adult comedian who took one of his jokes when Chappelle was just 15. In the clip, Chappelle would even...
So that was back and forth a little bit between Chappelle and Cat Williams and some of his reactions.
Hold up, but the thing about it is, Mark, everybody's all is talking about Cat Williams is a hurt person. But when the other comedians were out there stealing his stuff, doing what they were doing, saying this stuff about him, he didn't step up and he didn't defend Cat Williams. Now you're talking about, oh, you fuck with Cat Williams, but he's a hurt person. No, you know what I'm saying? Let this man say his piece. Talking about he didn't acknowledge anything that he did. Cat Williams never said that he didn't do anything.
Right.
So he's responding to what the other people said. So how can you tell me how to respond and narrate my story? Again, he said, if you wanted me to say something nice about you, you should have treated me better. You know what I'm saying? So how and that's the thing. You know, you did the same exact thing that Cat Williams did. You called out other people for stealing your stuff, but he can't call out other people for stealing his material. He can't come against the grain when other people are saying he's a drug addict. He can't come against the grain when other people are calling him a criminal. He can't come against the That's what I have a problem with. Y'all want him to just sit down and take it, talk about, he's hurting people and he's hurting their bag and he's hurting their money. But what about when they sell his material? Right. Didn't they hurt him when he was doing his shows and he did whatever? My thing is, in that instance, I lost a lot of respect for Dave Chappelle because I used to look at him in high regard, but I lost a lot of respect for him, coming out there talking about Cat Williams is hurt and he needs to chill.
Yeah. And like
be hurt. But at the same time, you cannot stop a person from telling their truth. You know what I'm saying? So if that means that, his truth is out there and it's putting people on blast, then they need to put people on blast. But that's his truth. That's his lived experience. That's what he went through. So who are we to tell somebody that he cannot discuss what he went through? That's just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. They telling them that they didn't experience racism. How you gonna tell them people what they experienced? How you gonna tell them people what they went through?
Yeah, you can't really tell them because
their lived experience. So she can't talk about her lived experience. How y'all was racist towards her. How y'all wore that black brooch in front of her, the racist blackface or whatever. But she can't discuss her lived experience. So no, that just kills me with people. They want you to be able to take whatever somebody else says about you, but the second that you have something to say about what they said about you, then it's a problem. Then you're the problem. Oh, you have a mental problem.
Yep.
Never said anything about the person that brought drama to the table.
Yep. Well, speaking of bringing drama to the table and everything, and this is a video that I did not say I was going to bring up, but it was interesting because I found it in Instagram, and I'd love to hear your thoughts around it and everything along those lines. So I'll actually see if I can get it up here and share it, because there are some people that are upset when people have certain criteria that they want in their relationships and all along those lines. So this is one from a sister that said that she wanted a certain amount of money to be involved in her space of relationships and all along those lines. So I'll play the video, then I'd love to hear your thoughts around it, because she was basically saying that you got to come with a certain amount of criteria to get even involved with them and all along that line. So let's hear the video and let's hear maybe a little bit of people's comments, including some of those who are watching afterwards.
Did you ever think for 1 second, looking over your life and your current situation, are you making anywhere near what you want your partner to make? Answer that for me. These women are out here saying, I need a man that's going to make $300,000 a year, $400,000 a year. What are you bringing to the table? Because it sounds like you really want to live. You want somebody that make enough money that you can live off of, instead of you putting in the own work and appreciating a man that already has a 9-to-5 and is doing his best to make sure that you eat. Instead of putting a price on a man, you need to put priorities and responsibilities on a man. And if you see them taking care of that priorities and responsibility, that's a fucking man. Not how much money is in his bank account. You women, all these women.
So I didn't know if you had any thoughts around that, because she was basically saying that there are some people that are targeting folks because they want a certain amount of money and all along those lines, and definitely that can be. So
I'm gonna just put it to you like this. You date who you date, you love who you want to love. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, and I've always said this: date in your income bracket, date in your lane. You know what I'm saying? And she made mention that you're putting requests on men. Are you making the money that you're requiring your man to make? Actually, I do. And actually, I make more. You know what I'm saying? So people should have at people for having standards. If that's their standard, then that's their standard. Then that's not the person for, somebody who is not, it's not for them. They always talk about being equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not equally yoked to somebody, don't get angry. Don't get mad because other people have different standards. And I tell people all the time, date within your income bracket. I'm quite sure you can find somebody on the lower end of the spectrum that you can have, within the same income bracket. Because I can tell you right now, if the woman is making way more, require that you do certain things, and she's going to require that you handle your business. Not saying that the other woman who's making less is not going to require, but you at least got to bring something to the table. Like they always say, what you bring to the table? I bring my appetite. I'm not bringing nothing else. I bring my appetite because you're going to take care of that bill. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not doing that, then it's a problem, because what I do for myself, I can do for myself, and I can do for you too. But I'm not going to be doing for myself and you reap the benefits, and there's no benefits coming for her to come on, blasting women for having certain standards, I think that's a problem within itself. That's problematic within itself. I always tell people, date within your income bracket, date within your lane. If you have a woman who is high maintenance and like nice stuff and like expensive and designer stuff and already has this stuff prior to meeting you, why are you going to try to go after her and try to change her when you try, if she gives you an opportunity? I'm not dropping my standards for no one. I'm going to continue to do me. I'm going to continue to go on trips like I go on. I'm going to continue to rock my clothes like I rock. I'm going to continue to wear the designer clothes like I wear. And I'm going to continue to, do what I do for my family and things like that. And if he plays the part in it, fine. If he doesn't, you can kick rocks. But to say, that women are being unrealistic, no, women are not being unrealistic. And it baffles me how, everybody's coming against Black women for saying what they want. And like we're just supposed to accept the bottom of the barrel, and we're just supposed to accept whatever without any regard, because a lot of controversy came from, Tyler Perry when he said that, if the man is making $55,000 and all he can pay is the light bill or whatever, be happy with that. We ain't being happy with that.
No, I'm not thinking you should be happy with that. You should be happy with that.
They're within your lane. They're within your income bracket.
No, but even outside the income bracket, there are some people that, in my mind, and I'm not saying all, but there are some women that have unrealistic expectations sometimes, and sometimes they will set standards that might not even be the standards that should be there. Because I do know some people that want a certain type of job or a certain type of car or a certain kind of career and everything, and sometimes they might be missing golden opportunities and all along those lines. So that's the only thing that I would say that might be counter to what you're saying, because I've seen some people that have expressed regret after they realized that there were some plumbers and some bricklayers that were making some money like those doctors and lawyers if they wanted the doctors and lawyers. Like I know some people that used to go regularly, actually we just came out of Christmas season, they used to go regularly to the lawyers ball because they wanted to get a lawyer, and sometimes there might be multiple generations that were going to the lawyer ball trying to pick up a lawyer, but hey, that lawyer might have a whole lot of debt depending on what law school they went to and all along those lines. So definitely I do know that is a case as well, that you might be missing some golden opportunities in the blue collar lane if you don't give those opportunities the chance and everything. I'm not saying everybody has to date somebody blue collar, even.
But again, Mark, it goes back off of preferences. Just like they have preferences where they say that they don't want to date a Black woman and we're loud, we're this. It goes off preferences. So women can have preferences. So you're basically telling a Black woman that she can have a preference. She can't strive for what she wants. You know what I'm saying? We're the only race of women that get told that we can't have a preference, that we can't have a standard, that we can't have this and we can't have that. And if that preference of that woman is too grand for you, then you're not the person. You're not the one.
No, and like I said, that was actually.
And I understand, blue collar guys. I'm not saying that they're not good guys, but at the end of the day, like I said, you need to date in your income bracket. If you know that you have a woman who is over here handling her business and she makes well above 6 figures and things like that or whatever, and she's very well off before you, and you come in with mediocre expectations and mediocre this and mediocre that, it's not going to work. You're going to have a problem with everything that she does. You're going to end up starting to call her a gold digger, her lifestyle and what she does. And that's what they do. Oh, you're a gold digger, you're this, you're that. No, I'm not a gold digger, because I was doing all this stuff before you, and I'm going to do all this stuff after you. So I mean, I'm not understanding where the discrepancy is coming in at. Dating your income bracket, dating your lane. Everybody is not meant to not date, what they want. Men can say that they want a dime piece. They always say that they want no kids. They want a woman to look young. They want a woman to be youthful. They want this, they want that. But the second that the Black woman say that she wants this and her expectation of a man is that, everybody and the damn mama have a problem with it.
Well, just along those lines, I know we're getting ready to wrap up and everything. I was getting ready to say that there are some income bracket conversations even in there as well, because my uncle actually ran a family-owned, along with his mother, plumbing company, and I do know that there are some people in some of those fields that make some pretty good income. So that's what I said. If we're talking about an income bracket, there are some blue collar jobs that are just making as much as the white collar jobs, and all in that space. And I would agree with you that sometimes people, even in that dime piece attitude, do have that kind of belief system. Just like I know that there are some people that are men and even women that don't want to necessarily date folks that have kids and everything along those lines, and that can be a preference. And there are others that take a strong opinion that they can handle somebody else's child and even help raise that child, and are even willing to get into extended families and extended families as well. Because I even know some people in my own family that got married and had not just a ready-made family, but a ready-made grand family as well. And yes, they got a little bit of flack for that, but they've been together for some time now and seem to be doing quite well. So not everybody has the same resilience in that category as well, because you got to have a certain ability to do that. And I'm not saying that that needs to be everybody's mission either, but there are some folks that don't mind dating and even raising other people's children.
And you're absolutely correct. And I'm not knocking anybody for their preference. That's your preference. That's your choice. I'm not paying your bills, baby. Because when I'm up in the luxury stores and the designer stores, you're not there swiping your card, paying for my stuff. You know, so if that's what you prefer, that's what you prefer. I'm sorry. He said Instagram disconnects after 1 hour. But if that's what you prefer, that's what you prefer. It's a preference. It's a choice. You know, all I'm saying is date in your income bracket, date in your lane. You know, find somebody who's equally your. But, you know, the clock on the wall says that's all. And I want to thank Mark for another great episode, great commentary. And we will see you guys right back here on next Monday with some more exciting topics and some more heat and some more drama.
No problem. Looking forward to it. We'll have some more conversation on next week, and it'll be more fun conversation. But right now, time to get on out of here.
Clock on the wall.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the All Around. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Anthony. Please tune in on Mondays at 6 p.m. for your entertainment purposes. We will hit current topics, old topics, and everything else in between. Be there or be square. Deuces, my loves.